Hi guys! Today we're finally doing my bookshelf tour since a lot of you guys have been asking. And before we start, I just want to let you know that I've been reading since I was a kid. So this collection of books, I guess, is not an overnight collection. Right now, my books are scattered all around the house since I used to have this bookshelf, like all my books are there, and I also had one before in my room when I was a kid, but now it's all scattered throughout the house because there's just way too many books right now. And I just want to let you know that my viewers have been asking for this. So these books are the different eras from my different reading eras. So you'll see like children books, teenager books, and then my adult books, I guess. We're gonna start off with my bookshelves in my room. I do have this one big white bookshelf, metal bookshelf that I bought from Shopee, and I have one wooden shelf, mini shelf for all of my mini books, I guess. But the reason why I started with the shelves in my room because all of my latest books or my latest reads are in here, and that's one of my favorite parts because all of my NYRB's Penguin Classics and Classics are mostly here. We're gonna start from the top, and these are actually random classics. I didn't have any organization here. I do have a little bit of color coordination here, but other than that, these are all actually random because most of them are from different publishers. Here we have all of my McNally editions. I've been loving McNally editions so far, kind of getting on par with NYRBs, and if you love NYRBs, I highly recommend you checking out McNally editions. Most of my Penguin Modern Classics are also here because of the color. I do love a little bit of mint blue theme here, and we have my double liners and apothecary diaries, which all of my mangas are scattered throughout my shelves because I do like to color coordinate them sometimes. We have my one and only archipelago books because I've been wanting to do the other publishers than NYRB books, so I ordered one. I have my Edith Wharton and I think this is my only John Didion book, one of my favorite publishers right now, which is Persephone Books, and then most of it are random again. I also have my memorabilia for display. This is from Singapore and this is from Japan. This is from the Studio Ghibli store. And if you're familiar with My Neighbor Totoro, you'll recognize this bus stop. So I really like this and it fits perfectly in my top shelf. Now we're moving on to my NYRBs and Penguin Classics back editions. These are all NYRBs from here up to here, and I actually have like this stories for seafarers that was given to me if you've been watching my vlog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So far I have 16 NYRBs, and for my Penguin Classics Black, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, I think. I think these are all my Penguin Classics Black, but I'm not really sure if I do have more that's just like scattered around the area. We have Nat Hampson, we have Madonna in a Fur Coat, Meditations, Jane Austen, Frankenstein, Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, Pillow Book, Either or, Martin Eden, and of course, East of Eden. Last part of my shelves, again, the classics area. We have Toni Morrison books here. These are all of my Penguin classics. I'm not really sure what this is called. Penguin English Library, and I think this is the cloth bound. I also have my Pushkin Press classics here. I highly recommend also that publisher if you really wanting to read classics that are not too popular, I guess. We have two of my major Dostoevsky books. We have The Brothers Karamazov and Crime and Punishment. I also have Damian, and I have another copy of Pride and Prejudice, which I didn't know, so I think I'm giving this away because this is brand new. So if I'm doing a giveaway, definitely include this book. I also have one of my prized possessions, which is I Who Have Never Known Men. This edition, I really like this cover. I really like this edition. I didn't like their other covers, so I absolutely adore this one. We have Masters and Margarita and Don Quixote. Don, I'm not really sure if it's Don Quixote or Don, I don't know, because I only know Don Quixote, like in Japan store. So I've been pronouncing Don Quixote like that. And the last part is my Nancy Drew books. So If you've been following me on Instagram, you know I love Nancy Drew books. This is my earliest memory of like my very first book. I'm not really sure what first book I read, but I think my earliest memory is Nancy Drew, like me reading Nancy Drew on my libraries. That concludes my first shelf on my room, so now we're moving on to my next one. For this part, we literally have zero organization whatsoever. So these are all random, and you'll just see like random Japanese books here, but I'll do my best to show you guys this shelf. On my top shelf, I do have like just my plate full of my bookmarks, my random bookmarks, and my miniature. I just put all my bookmarks here so they won't get lost. And for my first top shelf, again, super random, we have Into the Wild, Man's Search for Meaning, and the Four Agreements. Oops. I guess this is my non-fiction side. And we have Japanese Tales of Mystery and Imagination. We have Haruki Murakami, Naomi by Junichiro Tanizaki. We have American Psycho, Practicing the Power of Now. Tokyo Ueno Station, Bible, Crime and Punishment, a copy again. One of my most prized possession, which is The Republic by Plato and Other Dialogues. This is the reason why I love reading literature. I've read this in high school, and this literally changed my life, I guess. I owe my life to this book, so as you can see, I've learned to annotate at an early age. This is the reason why I love philosophy books and literature. Second shelf, we have Siddhartha, The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. And then again, random books. We have manga. Hi! Okay, for some reason my book started to attack me, but we have my mangas here. We have Persona 5 and Kagurabachi. Love Persona 5. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I bought this secondhand. Then we have some Japanese literature here. Poppy War, which I haven't read. Catch 22 Meditations, another copy, double copy. The Martian by Andy Weir. And Rashomon and Strange Library by Haruki Murakami. I don't have any book stopper, so I think I need to invest on one because my books are falling apart. But this one's my favorite editions or covers. I'm gonna show you why. Love it. I love how trippy it is, and the cover perfectly shows how trippy this book is. Last part of the shelf, most of these are Japanese literature. We have, this is Korean Life Ceremony, Sweet Being Paced Out, Haruki Murakami, If Cats Disappeared from This World. We have another Andy Weir, If We Were Villains, and The Secret History. Just randomly have like a Percy Jackson again. This shelf is so random because I just like put some random books here. And we also have another copy of Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha because I thought I didn't have this copy. This was my original copy. So I just bought like another one because I wanted to do a review on it. But turns out the book was here all along. We have a random Tokyo style book here, and then a manga, which is one of my favorite romance mangas, which is My Happy Marriage. This concludes my wooden bookshelf in my room. Now we're moving on to another room, which is mostly our PC or hangout room. Starting off with my favorite shelf in this room, which is my trinket display shelf with a little bit of books here. So for our very first shelf, I have my random thrifted / old books here. And we have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I have this beautiful cover edition. I bought this in secondhand thrift store book in Book Ichigo in Cavite. We have Dostoevsky's The Gambler. I think I had this book for 5 to 6 years now because I bought this again from secondhand or thrifted in online naman. So, and then we have, I think I bought these books with you guys during my thrift hunt. Jane Eyre, Tale of Two Cities, North and South. This is from an online thrift shop. Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. We have this beautiful cover edition. And we have my Peter Pan, which is one of my favorite thrift finds. And these are all mini Penguin Classics Black. We have my trinkets, my own hair clip. You remember I did like a classic for beginners, and some of these books I just put it here because it's easier. So we have Animal Farm, The Metamorphosis, Great Gatsby, Fahrenheit 451, and 1984. And then we have another thrifted find, which is Lady Chatterley's Lover. This book, this was Dostoevsky's Notes from the Underground. I think I bought this when I was in high school. And this is my very first Dostoevsky read. This is my very first book of his, and then I immediately bought, like, I think I have a copy, Signet Classics copy of Brothers Karamazov and then Crime and Punishment, which you saw earlier in my room. So that explains my double copies. But of course, when I grew old, I realized I wanted a bigger font text or a bigger copy because it's really hard to read in this kind of small books that are compressed into this teeny tiny text. So far, this is only my Penguin Classics Blacks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I'm not mistaken. 6 Penguin Classics Black. I'm not really sure if these are all my Penguin Classics Black, but this is where I usually put them. So for this corner, we have mostly all of my untranslated books, especially Japanese books, because if you're familiar with my souvenir books, I usually just buy untranslated books from the country, and then yeah, this is my mini collection of them. We have the Harry Potter untranslated. This is from Hong Kong. And then we have 2 untranslated Korean books, which were given to me by Emani. Although I did travel to Korea, I just didn't have any time to buy or to explore some books. We have one of my all-time favorite mangas, romance manga, which is Maid Sama or Kaichua Maid Sama, if I remember it correctly. I bought untranslated mangas because before I was so hyper fixated on learning to read and write Japanese, so I figured I'll buy a Japanese manga so that I'll be motivated to learn. But I didn't have any time, so we also have a Detective Conan manga. I bought this in Japan, in Osaka, from my recent trip. And as you all know, I love Shinichi, I love Conan. Then we have Choking on Love. Again, untranslated. I don't know why. I think they don't have any English version or translated to English manga, physical copy manga of this. And then my actual Japanese books that I bought. And this is my favorite because I bought this from Mino, which is one of my favorite discoveries in Japan, like little town in Japan. And then random books that I bought in Tokyo. This is my favorite romance manga as an adult, as a working girl. This is Watakoi. This is a romance manga that's involving 2 working adults. So I watched the anime first, which made me interested in the manga. So this is really sweet. We're moving on to my, again, random books. Some of these are recently bought, some of these are not recently bought, especially my Japanese literature. These are bought in Japan. Hindi pa uso yung fully book masyado nun. Like, they don't really have a lot of Japanese literature. So, I bought this in Kinokuniya. For this part, we have Banana Yoshimoto's Kitchen. I bought this in Kinokuniya. Yeah. We have A Woman with Money and Other Stories by Jenny Romero Laguno. I bought this in an independent bookstore in Manila, Quezon, Tomas Morato, if I'm not mistaken. Captured my eyes because of the title. And we have Alone in Berlin. We have Meiko Kawakami. Kim Ji-young, born 1982. I love this one. So I immediately bought the physical one because I had like free credits in National Bookstore. So I used that credit to buy this too. And then we have A Man Called Ove, Agatha Christie. Actually, this should be in my Agatha Christie shelf, but we'll just leave it here. One of my all-time favorite psychological thriller, which is We Spread, and then The Idiot. And then this, again, Japanese literature, we have Kokoro Benatsu Misoseki, No Longer Human. One of my favorite authors, Yukio Mishima, A Shameful Life, which is just another translated version of No Longer Human. We have The Phantom of the... My very first and my only Mitch album book, which is Tuesdays with Mori. I wanted to read this year, so I bought one. We have The Little Prince. I bought this in Singapore because, again, I use books as souvenirs and I didn't find any books translated in their language. And then we have The Trial by Franz Kafka, Anna Karenina, which I did have a version or a copy of Anna Karenina, which is every month's library. This is actually my sister's, so I bought one for myself, and I wanted to be an every month's library copy because I love their hardcovers, so I figured I'll just buy one for myself. And then we have The Secret Garden, A Little Princess, Agnes Grey, my Junji Ito, which is Tommy. This is one of my favorite works of his. I know this is like super popular, but I just really like Tommy. I also like No Longer Human by Junji Ito, but I just prioritize Tommy over that. And then we have The Stranger by Albert Camus. This is a graphic novel because I really had the phase of super loving Albert Camus, and The Stranger is one of my favorite books before. So I bought a graphic novel when I saw this in a thrift online store. So this shelf is most of this are Japanese and Korean literature. I actually should have put all of my Korean and Japanese literature here, but as you can see, these are all color coordinated with the whole shelf because it is very colorful and very pastel-y, like because we have Sanrio Legos here and then my Kuromi here. And these are actually my CD collection. I just started collecting my I just started collecting CDs again because I wanted to have a CD player for my birthday, and then I bought this because I wanted to have a physical media of my favorite movies, and I still am collecting some of these. We have The Parent Trap, Before Sunrise, of course, Harry Potter movies, My Only You, which is one of my all-time favorite Filipino movies. We have Devil Wears Prada, Hunger Games, Twilight, High School Musical, Harry Potter. So I think I am done with the Harry Potter series. We have here my Before the Coffee Gets Cold collection. Okay, so we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold. We have 3 of these in the series. We have Convenience Store Women, Welcome to Yunam-dong Bookshop, which is one of my favorite comfort books. Almond, Burning God, Nakano Thrift Shop, and Breast and Eggs by Miko Kawakami. So that concludes my shelf here, and we're moving on to my kids teenager shelf. Welcome to my teenager shelf, I guess, because most of this I bought when I was a young adult, when I was a kid, or when I was in elementary to high school. We also have a little bit of trinkets here. We have a bookends, which I'm gonna build if I have my own shelf. Lego sets, actually are Lego sets because me and my sisters love to build Legos. And we have my miniature I bought here in the Philippines, pero naalala ko lang siya because of the cafe. This is the exact cafe that we went to in Osaka. I'm gonna start with this corner, with this shelf, so you guys can see closely the books that I have. This, we have my young adult books. We have Mistborn, Darkest Minds, Red Rising, Mortal Instruments, The Wrath and the Dawn, which I've never read. I've never even finished this. We have Normal People, Song of Achilles, which TikTok loves. And then this shelf, or this corner, we have my Stephen King collection, and I Am Legend, Grey with Tattoos. And at the back, we have like more books. We have some, I think some of these are Filipino books. We have Divergent, Arkwang, Babel, Miss Peregrine's, which I love when I was a kid, but then I completely forgot about this, so I didn't buy the next coming books, I guess. Armada, Stephen King, 11/22/63, which is my favorite Stephen King book. And then we have The Book Thief by Mark Zuzak. Sorry if I'm speaking too fast or whatever. It's so hot right now in the Philippines. Going back to our shelf, we have Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. We have my Percy Jackson here. All of my Percy Jacksons are here. This is my all-time favorite books when I was a kid. Nancy Drew made me start reading, while Percy Jackson made me stay. This really sparked my love for reading when I was a kid. Rick Riordan collection. We have The Hidden Oracle, Throne of Fire, sorry. Greek Gods, Greek Heroes. So We have Magnus Chase. And then after that, we now have my Agatha Christie collection and Dan Brown. I guess we have Mythology and the Inferno. Mythology because I was obsessed with Percy Jackson, so it made me like mythology more. Actually, vice versa. I love mythology, that's why I love Percy Jackson. So we have my Agatha Christie collection here and some random Filipino books here. I have quite a lot of Agatha Christie, which I think I want to have like a week of Agatha Christie reading or a month of Agatha Christie reading. Let's see. I also have Encyclopedia of Adventure Time, Good Omen, and PewDiePie's book. A book. This book loves you. I also have Team Real because I love Jadine before. This is my favorite Filipino couple. We have two Harper Mystery. This is all of my Agatha Christie collection and her autobiography. I'm just gonna hold this so you guys can see. This part, again, super random. We have Nietzsche, Godfather, Silicon, Martian, another copy because I thought I lost my copy. The House in the Cerulean Sea, another Andy Weir, Laws of Power, which Battle Royale, which this I do recommend a lot. This is where the Battle Royale games came from, like the inspiration. So I super love this book, but it's a very thick book. We have Orwell, and yeah, super random. And then this part, which is one of my favorite. This is my Filipino collection or works. So we have Patron Saints of Nothing, Smaller and Smaller Circles, Rizal Without the Overcoat. We have Agoncillo, Super Ilustrado, Ikatlong Sabado, and we have Constitution of the Philippines. So, ayan, super random lang. I have yet to buy the No Limitang Hiren El Fili na Penguin Classics version, but I do have No Limitang here somewhere. This, we have my Raven Boys collection, which I still think up to this day is one of the most underrated series, young adult series. But now I don't know if I still like it because I've read this when I was a teenager, but I really, really like this. I really, really love this. This part, I think I categorize this as some of my classics or literature. We have Sherlock Holmes. We have The Women Who Run with the Wolves. We also have Thomas Hardy, Coraline, The Art of War, some calling classics, I think, and The Brothers Karamazov, and then, yeah, random Nihongo or Japanese books. Catch 22, which is my thrifted copy, so I bought another one because I didn't like this one. I bought the one which, if you saw my previous video, if you saw my previous clips, I'm just gonna show it through here so you guys can see. This is some of my Japanese literature again and again. We have Haruki Murakami 1284. I have a story about this. I read this 24 hours straight. Like, no kidding. This is one of my greatest achievements in life. But this is not an achievement because it's so bad to not sleep. I'm never gonna do that again. We have Osamu Dazai, Men Without Women, Paulo Coelho, Please Look After Mom, which made me cry before. And then Haruki Murakami again, Things Remembered, Things Forgotten, and A Little Life, which I've never read before. I only have a copy, but I've never read this. I only got until this part, I think. Moving on to the shelf, which you always see in my vlogs. This is the most random shelf because some of these are mixed with my little sister's books. But this top part is mostly mine. So we're gonna start off with the top shelf. We have Fitzgerald, The Beautiful and the Damned, and The Tender is the Night books, Time Traveler's Wife. We have again Albert Camus. I have two of this, which one of my favorites is Myth of Sisyphus. We have Fight Club. I guess this part is mostly my rage teenager era, high school era. Most of these books I read in high school. We have Fight Club, Perks of Being a Wallflower, Circe, Godfather, another copy because my boyfriend Emily gave me another copy of Godfather, but I actually requested for a second book of Godfather. So he just bought me another one. So I do have two copies. We have Ender's Game, Brave New World, which was one of my favorite books during that time because I loved literature when I was in high school, like the dystopian literatures. Unbearable Lightness of Being. We have again Haruki Murakami, Human All Too Human by Nietzsche. This is a this is a philosophy book. 100 Years of Solitude. Ready Player One, which I read in, I think, 7th grade or 8th grade, and Lord of the Flies, which is one of my favorite dystopian novels. Again, Game of Thrones, Holy Bible, Homer, the Iliad, Albert Camus again, The Plague, and then my remaining Wattpad books, The Good Earth, and I don't know, The Book of Life. I think The Book of Flies. I think I bought this in elementary because of the book sale, thrift shop. This part we have again random, but I think most of this is Harry Potter theme. I mean Harry Potter related books. So this is all of the Harry Potter series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have seven of the Harry Potter books. I actually want to buy the original version, original edition, but that's so expensive. For some reason, my sister bought this version, which is the hand-drawn pencil covers. And then this part we have, this is mine. This is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. This is a play, I think, sequel play. And I bought this, like the interactive book version, like wherein you get like an actual 3D stuff. And I can't wait to display this when I have my own bookshelf. So yeah, this is actually really cool. I want to buy the whole series of this, but this is too expensive. This is Count of Monte Cristo, which I'm planning to buy another version every month's library because I didn't like the Barnes and Nobles one. I bought this when I was in 10th grade, I think, from an online store. So, wala pa akong masyado alam nun. I didn't know any klase covers or whatnot. I just wanted a Count of Monte Cristo version, copy, so I just bought one. And then Moby, DICK, which is very distressed now because I bought this way, way back. So I have not read this, but we just put it here. And then this is my little sister's. This is The Priory of the Orange Tree, which she hasn't read. Tama? Okay, this part, very random. I categorize this as a non-fiction self-help books, which this is not mine. These are actually mostly my little sister's. Bobby Fischer's Teaches Chess. And actually this is mine because I had a astronomy phase. I really like anything related to astronomy. So we have Stars and Planets, and you'll see my Stephen Hawking book also later. Bad Days in History. This is the Stephen Hawking, the illustrated Brief History of Time and the Universe in a Nutshell. We also have the crime book because I was obsessed with mysteries before, of course, Detective Conan and everything, Sherlock Holmes. So I love like mystery or crime books like this. We have mythology, which is like another version of the mythology that I have earlier. Edgar Allan Poe, collected works, and Dune. I read this like 5 years before the movie came out. So we have this beautiful version which I had a hard time buying because during that time, yung fully book, they didn't have like this version. So I had to look for the resellers, and this is one of the prettiest book covers ever. And this shelf is, I categorize this as the manga, manhwa, what's called this, graphic novels or whatever, etc. Because most of these are my little sisters, so I just like organize everything so we can go live peacefully. So we're not gonna be like hanapan sa isa't isa, ganyan. My teenager era, super teenager pa bebe era, because we have Girl Online, Don't Look Back, My True Love Gave to Me, One of Us is Lying. I think Netflix has a movie on this book, but I bought this way, way back. I Was Here, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens. We also have We Were Liars. I think also this one has a movie right now. Black Eyes, Before I Fall, which is one of my favorite movies when I was a teen. So I bought the book. I didn't know I read this book, but now I think I read it because I have some annotations. So I just remembered. We also have some books on the back, but I'm not really gonna go in depth to it because I think the books in the back are not that important. Last row, we have Glass Swords, Red Queen series. We also have Fourth Wing, which I am guilty of forcing my sister to buy this because TikTok made me buy it, but yeah, she didn't like it, so yeah, it's just there. And Shadow, Unto Shadow, and Bone. So, like, young adult books, and also this one, young adult. Very young adult because we have my first young adult, I think, romance book. This is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I think we can all agree that we all know this book. Super old na niya. And we have 13 Reasons Why, very problematic book. The 100, The School of Good and Evil, The Beginning of Everything, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and Paper Towns. Yeah. Very young adult section. All of these are teenager era. That concludes my bookshelf tour 2025, and the reason why I did a bookshelf tour because I'm planning also to buy a new bookshelf, so I wanted to showcase everything that I have right now, and as much as I can, I needed to show you guys all the books throughout my reading years. And again, this is not an overnight purchases. I never bought this like isang bagsakan. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have any more video suggestions you want me to make, and also let me know some of the books that you liked and loved here in my book collection, or if you have one similar to mine. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.